Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was produced before the Rouse Avenue court in Delhi after his arrest Thursday night. The leader of the Aam Aadmi Party was under investigation for alleged malpractice in the liquor policy case. The Enforcement Directorate, which is investigating the charges, told the court that he was the main conspirator in the case involving kickbacks. Kejriwal, the first serving chief minister to be arrested, has denied all the charges. On his way to the court, Kejriwal said he has dedicated his life to the nation and will continue to work from behind bars. According to reports, the Delhi liquor policy gave wholesalers and retailers a remarkably high profit margin of 12 and 185%. Half of the 12% was to be recovered as kickbacks to benefit politicians of the AAP. Members of the opposition India bloc have strongly condemned the arrest of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who is part of the 27-member alliance. Rahul Gandhi of the Congress party, which heads the bloc, said the arrest of elected chief ministers has become a common thing in the country. Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister M.K. Stalin described the arrest as open abuse of power and the decay of democracy. The Chief Minister of another southern state, Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, said it was a clear plot to silence the opposition ahead of general elections. The leader of the Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav, said the arrest of Kejriwal would give birth to a new people's revolution. Anti-corruption activist Anna Hazare has said that Arvind Kejriwal should not have made the controversial liquor policy. Hazare's movement was the setting for Kejriwal's rise to prominence in the year 2011 when they staged hunger strikes in support of the Citizens Ombudsman Bill to fight corruption in the Indian government. According to reports, the 86-year-old had expressed his displeasure with the liquor policy. The activist said that Kejriwal once raised his voice against liquor, but he has made the liquor policy now. Hazare said, "Whatever happens should happen according to law." The Aam Aadmi Party emerged from the movement in 2012, winning the hearts of the people, which helped sweep elections and land Kejriwal in the coveted post of Delhi's chief minister. Tamil Nadu Minister Ponmudi is back in the state cabinet after the Supreme Court paused his conviction in a case related to unexplained wealth. The minister's reappointment comes after the highest court criticized State Governor R.N. Ravi for refusing to do so on moral grounds. The standoff was the latest between the governor and the state government over various issues, which went before the courts. Ponmudi resigned his posts as a legislator and minister for higher education after the Madras High Court convicted him for amassing illegal wealth. The corruption charges against the minister dates back to the period between 1991 and 2006, when he served in the government at the time. The High Court handed him and his wife a 3-year jail term in the case. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarked on a 2-day state visit to Bhutan, aiming to strengthen the unique and enduring partnership between the two nations. The visit was postponed by a day due to inclement weather. The Ministry of External Affairs stated that the visit would provide an opportunity for both nations to discuss bilateral and regional matters and explore ways to enhance their partnership. Modi is meeting the King of Bhutan and other top royals in the kingdom amid a grand welcome at Tashichodzong, a traditional Buddhist monastery and the seat of the Bhutanese government. The visit is part of India's Neighbourhood First policy, which follows Bhutanese Prime Minister Tshering Tobgai's 5-day visit to India. The Central Water Commission has released data on India's drinking water situation as the summer sets in. It said the live storage capacity in the country's 150 primary reservoirs is only 38% of their entire capacity, less than the average over the previous 10 years for the same period. A shortage of over 500 million litres of water per day exists in cities like Bengaluru, despite a demand of 2,600 litres. In comparison to the same period last year, Karnataka and other states recorded lower storage levels, according to the Water Authority's weekly status report. The Indian Space Research Organisation has successfully conducted the landing mission of its reusable launch vehicle, Pushpak. The vehicle, lifted by an Indian Air Force Chinook helicopter, landed autonomously on the runway after being released from an altitude of 4.5 kilometers. Pushpak is a fully reusable vehicle designed to evaluate various technologies like hypersonic flight, autonomous landing, and powered cruise flight. This marks the third flight of Pushpak, bringing it closer to achieving orbital re-entry capabilities. The project, symbolizing prosperity and innovation, has been in development for over a decade and sets the stage for future endeavors, including the ambitious goal of establishing a space station by 2035. The first prototype of the reusable launch vehicle made its maiden flight in 2016. Russian missile strikes have caused widespread blackouts across Ukraine, targeting energy infrastructure and leaving over 53,000 households without power. According to reports, the city of Kharkiv experienced a complete power outage, and the Zaporizhia nuclear plant faces shutdown after a line serving the plant was severed. The attacks have led to questions about the legality of targeting a nation's power grid. President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that Russia launched over 90 missiles and 60 drones in the attacks, resulting in casualties and injuries. Following significant airstrikes on Kyiv, Zelensky has called for increased military support and air defense systems from Western allies. The Dnieper hydroelectric station dam in Zaporizhia was also hit, though no immediate danger of breach was reported. American Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel ahead of a United Nations vote on a U.S. draft resolution. This resolution is unique as it is the first time the U.S. has shown support for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and calls for the release of hostages held by Hamas. Previously, the U.S. had blocked such demands at the UN. Blinken is scheduled to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and the visit comes at a time when the U.S. is becoming increasingly critical of Israel's military campaign. His visit to the Middle East is primarily to discuss a plan for governing and securing Gaza after the war. A recent food security assessment backed by the UN revealed that 1.1 million people in Gaza are facing severe hunger and starvation. The United States has initiated a significant legal action against Apple, charging the technology behemoth with monopolizing the smartphone industry and suppressing competition. The lawsuit, filed by the Department of Justice, claims that Apple misused its dominance over the iPhone App Store to secure both customers and developers. The company is accused of taking unlawful measures to deter apps perceived as threats and to diminish the attractiveness of competing products. Apple has pledged to contest the lawsuit with determination and refutes the allegations. On Thursday, the company's shares fell, wiping out approximately $113 billion in market capitalization and bringing their total loss for the year to 11%. Despite once being the world's highest valued company at over $3 trillion, Apple has lagged behind both the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 in 2024. British researchers are developing the world's first lung cancer vaccine known as LungVax. The vaccine, being developed by the University of Oxford, the Francis Crick Institute and University College London, will use a DNA strand to train the immune system to target and destroy proteins on lung cancer cells. Lung cancer, the deadliest common cancer in Britain, is linked to smoking in 70% of the cases. The vaccine aims to change the current statistic where fewer than 10% of lung cancer patients survive for 10 years or more. The team plans to create 3,000 doses of the vaccine, and giving up smoking will not be the primary method to reduce the risk. Professor Mariam Jamal Hanjani, who will lead the LungVax clinical trial, stated that the vaccine is expected to be effective against most forms of lung cancers. A 62-year-old man is recovering after receiving a kidney transplant from a genetically modified pig, marking a significant milestone in organ transplantation. The pig's kidney was modified to reduce the risk of rejection. Rick Slayman had previously undergone a human kidney transplant in 2018, but it failed after 5 years, leading him back to dialysis. The new transplant operation, which took 4 hours, is seen as a potential solution to the chronic shortage of human donor organs. The pig kidney had been genetically edited to remove potentially harmful genes and add human genes to improve compatibility. Slayman is currently on anti-rejection drugs, and it is unclear how long the new kidney will function. The transplant team hopes this approach will provide a lifeline to millions of patients suffering from kidney failure worldwide. The U.S. state of Illinois is set to witness its second total solar eclipse in 7 years on April 8th, a rare occurrence given that such an event is expected to happen only once every 375 years on average at any given location. The upcoming eclipse will last for 4 minutes and 9 seconds, nearly double the duration of the 2017 eclipse. The 2024 eclipse is expected to attract 200,000 spectators to southern Illinois and will be visible from Mexico's Pacific coast to Canada's Atlantic seaboard. Unlike the 2017 eclipse, the 2024 event will pass over major U.S. urban areas, making it the most watched eclipse in the U.S. Total eclipses provide unique conditions to study the sun's corona, the origin of the solar wind. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.